Hi everybody, my name is Brittany Gadoza and I'm a kinesiologist out of the Coleman Clinic in Calgary, and today we're going to be going over some foam rolling techniques. Now, with the weather starting to turn into spring, many of us have turned to running and cycling as a form of exercise since gyms are still closed. Those first few runs or rides though can often lead us with sore leg muscles. One way to help decrease that pain, stiffness and soreness is to use a foam roller, which is this guy right here. Many of us have this lying around at home but aren't always using it. Or I'm also going to review some techniques for a hand roller, otherwise known as massage roller. So we'll go through ways to use both of these throughout. Now, before I get going, I'll give you a brief intro on foam rolling, what it is and why it works. So foam rolling, they come in many different stiffnesses as well as in length. Some of you may have one that's a little bit shorter than what I'm showing here. You may also have them in different colors. Now, the different stiffnesses will affect how much it pushes into the muscle per se. If you're new to foam rolling, usually you want to start off with something that isn't as dense. As you get into it more, you tend to go towards a denser roller. With a handheld massage stick, again, they're going to come in different stiffnesses of the stick. So with this one, I have a little bit of bend to it, but with others, you can get quite a bit of bend with it. And again, it just affects how much it's going to get into that muscle. Now, research is still trying to understand why rolling helps decrease pain and stiffness in muscles. One of the suggestions they're looking at has to do with pain receptors and having a positive effect on them, so actually decreasing the pain. However, more research is still needed in the area to figure out exactly why, but lucky for us, we still have the tool available for us to use right now. Now, a couple key tips before we get going. First, big thing is to remember to breathe. Many of us, if you've done foam rolling before, know it can be a little uncomfortable from time to time, especially if your muscles are super stiff or super sore. Best thing to do is breathe while you're going through the exercise. It will help, so please try not to hold your breath. Second, research is trying to suggest somewhere between 45 and 90 seconds is the ideal time to roll out a muscle group. However, again, if you're new to rolling or just getting back into it from a little bit of a hiatus, you may want to start with shorter segments. Again, it can be a little uncomfortable on the muscles depending on how stiff and sore they are. Finally, if you're finding the foam roller is just too intense for you to start with, if you have access to a handheld massage roller, this works just as well, and it allows you to control the tension a little bit more, so you're not putting quite as much pressure on those muscles. Now, what I want to get everybody to do is grab your foam roller. We're going to start with the lower body. I'm going to move between how to roll up certain muscles for the lower body with the foam roller. And then I'm also going to demonstrate ways to use the hand roller as well. So the first muscle group we're going to get started is with your quadricep muscles. So these are these big muscles right on the front of the legs. So what I'm going to do with my foam roller is I'm going to turn to the side here because it's probably going to give you the best view to see what this is going to look like. So we want the foam roller to stay on everything that's squishy. I want you to stay away from anything that feels bony or hard. So that'll be things like your kneecap, your hip bone. So I always want you to stand on the squishy bits. So we're going to set this roller gently on top of our quads, and we're going to come down to our elbows. I'd like your elbows to be right underneath your shoulders for a good position. And if you want, you can just pull your belly button in a little bit to activate your abdominals to give you a nice neutral back. Now, what you're going to do is you're then going to very gently with your hands walk forward as the roller moves down your legs. Just before you get to the kneecaps, you're going to push away and walk yourself back just before you get to the hip bones. Again, this is what we'd be doing for 45, potentially 90 seconds, depending on how things are feeling. Again, you have the option of going shorter if you're finding it too uncomfortable. Now, a modification you can make to this is we're going to do one leg at a time instead of both. So to do one leg at a time, you're going to push the roller to the end. I'm going to do my left leg. I'll do my left leg. So you will be on the outside here. My right leg is going to stay free. And again, you might find this a little bit more intense because you got one leg taking on most of the body weight, where before you had 2 legs to take that. Good. And remember to keep breathing. Excellent. If you're using your roller, keep on rolling. I'm going to show you an option with the hand roller next. So you could be seated or standing while you're doing this. What you're going to do is you're going to put one leg out straight, and you're going to start from the side of your leg, and you're just going to make these long, slow passes up and down the leg. Now you also have the option of doing some shorter strokes in a smaller area. You could also do this on your large foam roller as well if you want. 2 different techniques you can use. Now another thing you can look for is, say you find a spot that's particularly sticky or feels a little extra sore. If you can handle it, what you're going to do is push it a little bit harder into that area, just a little bit, and start to move the roller back and forth in that area. And it's kind of like we're working it out, like a massage therapist might if they were working out a muscle in that area. And again, you can go back to those big long strokes or those short tiny ones. Now, I'd get you to do the other side as well too if you're doing the hand roller. So again, we're going to start from the outside and slowly make our way into the inside here. Again, if you find any areas of particular tightness or stickiness, you're going to push in gently and breathe while you do it. All right. Now, from here, we're going to get into kind of what we call our sides of our legs or IT band areas. If you're runners, you may have had this prescribed to you by a kinesiologist or physiotherapist already. And this one can be definitely a little bit more on the uncomfortable side, but we can get some great results from it. So the setup for this is I'm coming onto my side. You can choose to either have your palm flat on the ground, just make sure it's underneath your shoulder, or you can come down to your elbow. It's up to you. From here, you're going to take your top leg and you're going to put it over your bottom leg. It's going to act as your steering wheel and it's going to help you push back and forth. So from here, again, starting just before the top of the hip bone, I'm going to use this top leg and I'm slowly going to push down and away as the roller moves towards my knee. Again, nice and slow. The slower we go, the more bang for our buck we're going to get. Good. And back. Now again, some of you may find the closer you get to that kneecap or the side of the knee there, the more discomfort you may find. Again, this is where you choose. You can stay off that area or just work it a little bit. And again, the more often you do this, so consistency is key, the better it's going to feel overall. Good. Now, I'm going to turn just ever so slightly, still on my side, but just a slight forward lean. And we'll get kind of that last area on the side there. Now again, making sure you're breathing while we do this. Now I am going to switch to the other side just to give you a demo of this. So walk over to my other side of the roller. Now because we did the hand rolling and we started from the outside and worked our way in, I won't show you how to do the hand roller for the IT band because we have done it already. So again, elbow underneath shoulder, top knee goes across because it's going to help push us out. Good. Again, slow and smooth. If you'd like, you have the option, you can take both feet off the ground so you've got your full body weight on the roller. Again, this may not be where you're at yet, so don't force it. Good. And keep breathing as you go here. Again, we're going to take that small turn, so we're leaning just a little bit towards the front. Good. And again, I'll show you some of those smaller, shorter strokes that we did with the hand massage. You can also do with a foam roller. So right now I'm working a very small part of that muscle in these short strokes. From there, I can move up. Oh, found a spot that is definitely a little sore for me. Again, do those shorter strokes. Red leg as well. So 2 different techniques depending on what you're feeling. All right. Now, we've done the front of our legs, we've done the side of the legs. We're gonna start working up into your bum or glute muscles next. So what we're gonna do for this, starting with our foam roller again, this time what I'm gonna get you to do is you're actually gonna sit on it for me. So you're gonna prop yourself up on it. You're gonna bring your hands so they sit on the ground just beside you. Now we're gonna start by working that left glute or left bum cheek muscle. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lean onto that left side. You're gonna take your right side over and cross it over. And then from here, again, you're gonna roll little strokes back and forth in that area. Now, depending where you're tightest, you may find it's a little bit more uncomfortable at the top, or as you get a little lower, you may find it's a little bit more uncomfortable there. Again, it's okay, wherever you feel it. Now, right now, I'm just rolling back and forth. You also have the option is you can roll a little bit kind of side to side on that area as well. And you're also gonna find it hits a couple of spots too. Good. Now if you're finding this a little bit hard on your shoulders, what you can do is prop up some books behind you so they don't have to sit so low or your palms aren't so low onto the ground. Good. Now I'm going to get you to switch and do the other side for me while I show how to do a hand roller version of this. So I got my hand roller here. A couple different ways you can do this. So if I'm sitting in a chair, I'm going to sit on my left bum cheek because I'm going to work my right side. I'm going to take my roller. Again, trying to find any areas of tightness that I may feel in that area. Again, if you find an area that's a little bit more uncomfortable, again, you have the option of pressing in just a little bit and working it out by taking those short strokes. Now another way to get your bum muscle with using a hand roller is you can stand up. You're gonna feed the hand roller through your legs, and then you're gonna kind of get the whole back of your bum that way as well. And again, with a lot of us doing a lot of sitting, these muscles can also get tight too. Excellent. All right, so from there, we've done the front, we've done the sides, we've done kind of our bum muscle area. We're gonna get into our hamstrings next, which are our big muscles on the back side of the legs here. Now again, I'll show with the roller and then I'll show with the hand roller. So similar to how I had you set up for the glutes, you're gonna set up for the hamstrings. So hands are gonna come from behind, and then you're gonna walk that roller out until it's just off your bum muscles. So now we're sitting on the hamstrings. From here, use your hands to walk yourself back, and then slowly walk yourself forward. I want you to stop just before you get to the bend in your knee there. It's kind of your cue, and then to go forward. Now, if you're not feeling anything here and you want to make it more intense, you have the option of bringing one leg on top of the other, and then working out just that one side by itself. Again, breathing while we do this. I want you to check your shoulders, make sure they're pulled away from your ears. I don't want them super, super high by your ears while you're doing this. Good. All right, when you get back to the top, I'm gonna get you to switch and try the other side for me. So again, this time you're gonna take your left leg or your right leg, depending on which one you started with, cross it over and work the other leg. Good. Now in a moment, I'll show you how to do this with the hand roller as well. Good. For those of you on the roller, keep going. I'm gonna move to demo the hand roller next. So, for hamstrings, again, we can go by sitting in the chair. We're gonna feed the roller right underneath our leg. And then again, we can do those really nice long strokes, or we can do those short, fast ones. Or sorry, not short, fast ones, but short ones in the area. So long and slow, or short ones. Again, you may find if you twist to the side a little bit, you might find some more there. That's a little uncomfortable. Or again, going just slightly to the other side, or straight down the middle. For those of you using hand rollers, let's switch and try the other side. So again, depending on how well you're handling this, you can go up to the 60 to 90 seconds, or sorry, 45 to 90 seconds per side. Or if you're finding this is just intense enough at say 30 seconds, that's fine as well too. Okay. So from here, we're going to get into the last of kind of our bigger muscle groups in the legs, and we're going to do our calf muscles with the roller. Again, I'll show you a couple different ways to do it, and then we'll demo with the hand roller. So similar setup. This time the roller is just a little bit lower, but our hands are still behind us. Now, depending on how tight you are here, if you just pull that roller in and out along your calves, you may find that is honestly just enough tension for you to feel that doing its job. If you want to apply more tension, again, pushing those wrists underneath your shoulders, you're going to prop yourself up so your bum's in the air, and then you're very slowly going to push yourself forward and pull yourself back. You can walk forward with your hands a little bit if you would like. Now, again, if you're still not feeling a lot here and you want to add some extra tension, you're going to throw one leg on top of the other. Now this will be quite intense, so please just be prepared for that. Again, we're putting all that body weight on that one muscle. Again, rolling back, nice and slow. Now the other thing you can do here is similar to our glute. We can roll side to side on the area as well, and for me that's where I feel it the most. And actually what kind of feels like a muscle knot in the area as I roll back and forth on that. I could also do this with my bum on the ground to make it a little less intense. Alright, so for those of you using the roller, or the foam roller, I want you to switch and do the other leg. For those of you using the hand roller, I'll show you your options. So again, similar to the hamstring, you're going to feed this roller right underneath. This time, you're just working lower down the leg. Now you want to make sure that muscle is relaxed as possible while you're doing this, because if it's already stiffened up, we're not going to get the same results. So again, those long strokes, or we can do those shorter ones. And you also have the option here if you want. You can go side to side. Again, this is where I can feel that muscle. It kind of feels like a muscle knot in my calves as I go back and forth that way. Excellent. All right. So we work through what we're going to do for the lower body. From here, we're going to move up to 2 upper body ways to use the roller. First, we're going to start by using it to help kind of open up the back, and then we're going to finish with one of my favorite stretches, which is called a roller angel, and it's a fantastic stretch for anyone who spends a lot of day at their computer and tends to start to kind of roll their shoulders forward, because it's going to help open them back up. Okay? So, but first, starting with the back, when you are using the large foam roller here, we're going to get you on your side, again, elbow roughly underneath shoulders. And then what you're going to do is you're going to place the foam roller just before the crease of the armpit. So I probably have like an inch and a half before it's like right in my armpit. And I've let my body weight for the most part rest on the roller. Now this may be too intense for you. If it is too intense, this is where you're going to use your arm on the bottom to help take some of the weight off the roller. Okay? Now from here, you have the option. We can do a little bit of rolling back and forth on the side. And again, you may feel that into some areas. Now I'm going to get you to lean back a little bit, and this is where we're going to get into that back muscle a little bit more. Again, these are shorter strokes, just given kind of how we have to position ourselves on the roller. Now from here, if you're finding that's not intense enough and you want to go a little bit more intensely, what I've done is I've taken my hand out from here, I've put my full weight back on the roller, so my left hand here is free, and what I'm going to do is roll back slightly, and then what I'm going to do is open my hand up to the side as if I'm saying hi, and then bringing it back down. Again, you may feel your muscle move a little bit on the roller while you do this. It might get into a few areas that are a little uncomfy. You really feel that muscle through there, okay? Good. All right, now what you can do from here is you could also swing your arm up and back down as if you're kind of making a half rainbow. Again, just getting into the muscles in a slightly different way. Good. All right, we'll switch and do the other side. Again, it's normal to find one side might feel a lot easier or not nearly as intense as the other side. Again, completely normal. We find that often with a lot of people. So again, if I need to take some of my weight off, wrist underneath shoulder, and I'm gonna put some of this weight into this bottom hand, and then I'm gonna lean back onto the roller a little bit. Then again, just moving kind of back and forth along that roller. You might move down a little closer to the armpit. You may feel a little bit more tension. Again, it's kind of about exploring your body and figuring out where you are tight. Again, big rolls, just try to stay off of anything that's really bony. You want to kind of stay on the squishy stuff for the most part. All right, so from here, let's try that hand opening one. Now, for me, I know this one is going to be a little bit more intense for me. So again, I've put all my weight on the roller. Then with my right hand, kind of opening it up as if I'm waving kind of like the queen, or if I'm saying hi, and back down. Or I have the other option of opening up and sliding my hand up and across the floor. Now, in terms of the hand roller, if you have a very lovely individual who can actually do this for you, you may find that's the best. You can get behind your back and do that area if you want. It's a little bit more challenging though. So I'm going to work my right side, so I'm going to put the roller in my right hand. My left hand is going to go behind my back. So it's going to look like this. And then from here, I am able to get into that area a little bit. But again, if you got somebody at home with you who might be able to do that for you, well, even better. Again, I can find, oh, there's an area for me, so I'm going to work that out just with those smaller strokes. Okay. And I'll just show you on the other side. So taking the hand roller in my left hand, bringing it behind, and then moving it up and down in that area. Again, this side doesn't seem to be as tight for me. It seems to be more on my right hand side. Again, for you, it may be your left. Okay, so we're getting ready to finish with one of my all-time favorite stretches. It's called Roller Angel. For those of you who know me, I usually make everybody do this. So what you're going to do, and this only works really well if you have a longer roller. If you have one of the short ones or half ones, it may not work quite as well because you won't have full support of the spine. So I recommend if you've got a full roller, do it on that one. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to sit on the edge of the roller with your bum. From here, you're going to slowly line your spine up with the roller. You need to make sure your head is supported. So if your head is off the roller like this, I need you to shimmy down the roller so your head is supported. Feet are going to be bent to start with, and then arms are going to come out and kind of make a T position or a cross position. Now, depending where you're at, you may feel this already in your chest. You're going to feel it kind of right along the front there. And if you feel it there already, great. You're going to hold that position, taking a really deep breath into the chest. And exhale. Now you have a couple different options. You can hold this position if it feels real good and you don't want to move from there, that's fine. What I can also do is if you don't feel the stretch, you can take your arms up a little bit higher to the point where you do feel that stretch kind of across your chest. You may even feel it come diagonally in because of how your arms are positioned. And you're going to find that position and you're going to hold it. Take another deep breath in. Good, and exhale. And again, holding this position. Ideally, if you're going to be doing kind of holding a position as you go, you want to hold each position as you slowly move up for about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on where you're at. Now for me, as soon as my hands kind of come off the ground, that tells me I've gone too far, so I want to come back to the point where my fingertips can actually rest on the ground quite easily. I don't want my hands completely hanging off in the air above my head like that. So again, finding that spot where you feel it just enough. Good, and exhale. Now we can also turn this into a dynamic stretch, or add a little bit of movement by making the angel part of it as if you're making a snow angel. So you're going to very slowly move those hands all the way down to your hips, and then very slowly again letting the backs of the palms stay on the ground as you come up and just about to above your head where the hands come off, and then coming back down. Again, you would repeat this 10 to 15 times, nice and slow, really feeling that stretch as it comes through. This is a great recovery stretch to do after a workout, or even just after a long day of sitting, again, to really help open the chest and promote good posture. We'll go one more time. And you may find the more you do this, even within that kind of 15 repetitions, your arms will go higher, and that's because we're starting to get some more movement in there. So that is a brief introduction to a roller, how to use it on some of the major muscle groups in your lower body, and 2 for your upper body. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me or the kinesiologist in your area, depending on where you're at. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.